Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Forbes Flash, and it's a special one. We're officially at episode 100. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching from the very beginning, and to those of you who are new, thanks for joining us. We're going to touch on a mix of industries this week, from tech to finance to entertainment, for a true Forbes roundup of what's happening in the world. Let's start with a story that might impact you if you're one of the 100 million people whose financial information was exposed in a massive data breach at Capital One. The information was taken from credit card applications submitted to the bank between 2005 and 2019. So what exactly was leaked? Names, addresses, zip codes, phone numbers, email addresses, dates of birth, and self-reported income. Plus, Capital One says that 140,000 Social Security and 80,000 linked bank account numbers were compromised. No credit card account numbers or login credentials were exposed. Authorities have arrested former Amazon employee Paige Thompson for hacking into cloud computing servers rented by Capital One. The hack happened back in March, but the bank didn't know it until a security researcher alerted them to it. If you were impacted, you should be hearing from Capital One. Now onto some better news. Lyft revealed that it has achieved pay equity for salaried male and female employees. That's big news for a company in Silicon Valley where female representation has lagged and a tech bro culture has dominated. Hopefully, this is a wake-up call to others, Lyft board director and White House alum Valerie Jarrett said of the announcement. Lyft first committed to conducting pay audits 3 years ago. To account for the differences they discovered among pay discrepancies, Lyft spent $88,000 in 2017 and $103,000 last year to adjust the salaries of affected employees. When you compare that to efforts of other companies, Lyft didn't have very far to go to achieve equity. For example, Salesforce has paid $10.3 million since 2015 to level the playing field among its employees. Google this year alone made $9.7 million in adjustments for members of its salaried workforce. Comparisons aside, it's all progress that should be celebrated in the ongoing fight to eliminate the pay gap, which, by the way, definitely exists. According to PayScale data, women still make 79 cents for every dollar men earn. Let's move along to our next story, a milestone for Israeli company Monday.com. The project management software maker is the country's new most valuable startup. Monday just raised $150 million in a Series D investment, which more than triples the startup's valuation to $1.9 billion, up from $550 million in just 1 year. Monday has emerged as one of the leaders in the work software category. It helps teams track projects and assign tasks to individuals and groups. Sound helpful? More than 80,000 businesses think so as they pay to use the software. Up next, Monday plans to deepen its hooks into users' workdays through more integrations, while continuing to add new features. Sounds productive. Last but not least, a fun foray into the music world. We released our list of the world's highest paid DJs this week. Don't worry if you're not familiar with the genre, you'll still be impressed by the big bucks these acts pull in. Duo Drew Taggart and Alex Powell, otherwise known as the Chainsmokers, were the biggest moneymakers of the past year, pulling in $46 million in pre-tax income. If you've been following this list, you'll know that's big news because Calvin Harris has been number one for the past 6 years. But the Chainsmokers have been on a roll with a 3-year residency with Wynn Nightlife and playing a multitude of festivals and private shows. Harris drops down to number 3 with earnings of $38.5 million over the past year. Sandwiched between those two is Marshmello, former Forbes cover star. That's all for this week, and thanks again for joining us for episode 100 of Forbes Flash.